Andy, thank you for joining us today. We're a month into the season, almost. What's your assessment of it so far?
I think it's not been a bad start, I have to be honest with you. I think the first games we got off to a couple of flyers there. And then we had the disappointment of going down to 10 men at Bradford, so that was hard to gauge. Saturday against Crewe, we didn't play so well, I didn't think, even though we scored early, I didn't think we played particularly great. But overall, I'm not too disappointed. We're learning a little bit more about the league as we go along. And I think it's been good so far.
And stepping up from the National League, the comment is often there isn't too much difference, but you can see there is something different when you're watching these games of football.
I've been guilty of that comment as well myself, so I get it. There's definitely a level up, without a shadow of a doubt. From coaches and managers right through to the level of players. Not one I'm frightened of, by the way, or not one I feel that we can't compete with. But definitely, there's a step up from the National League.
It was a busy summer, a lot of players coming through the door, but equally you managed to keep a real core from last year. How important is that?
Well, I think it's very important because I think you can get promoted and you can just sort of tear up the sheet and start again, and I don't think that's great to do. I feel, firstly and foremost, I must say, I feel we've got a squad that can compete, in the National League, so I've got no problem about that. And I just felt that I wanted to keep a group together and add to the group, and which we've predominantly done. Because if we just sort of rip up and start from fresh again, one, we can't afford to do that, let's be honest, and two, I just don't think it'd be healthy.
Playing on the grass pitch now, we've had a 3G for the past 7 years. It's a fantastic playing surface, isn't it?
Too good. we preferred the 3G when it's all horrible and uncomfortable for the opposition. The pitch is great. I mean, a lot of credit should go to the chairman and Mark Hammond getting that all ready and in place, right down to the company that installed it, and now Ian, the groundsman. It's fabulous. We love the pitch. We're enjoying the pitch, and it's been a real upgrade on everything around the place.
And we touched on it briefly in one of the previous interviews, but transfer deadline week last week, and you brought 2 players in. It all seemed to happen quite quickly, but I know that these were 2 players that you were keeping your eye on for quite some time.
Yeah, I mean, Josh is a player that I've heard loads of great things about, seen loads of great things about, and he's a real exciting player. So we had to keep that one bubbling along because there was other clubs that were circling around Josh a little bit higher than us. So I think it helped that we had Cameron here. I think he told Josh what a good place it was. So that's been good. And then Ben Thompson, again, Ben's a top player, no doubt about that. Wasn't convinced we'd quite get him, I have to be honest with you. But again, I think it helps when you've got Byron Webster that knows him really well. So, the message is getting out there that this is a healthy place to play football and a good place to play football. So to get both of those in the door was close to the deadline. That was a real plus for us, and it wasn't so much as like a last-minute gamble. We've been working on those, as you know, probably about 10, 14 days. So delighted to get them both in.
And you talk about the calibre of the players that you're bringing in, and that's apparent to see through your signings in the summer, but what we're now seeing is these players wanting to come to Bromley Football Club, wanting to play for you, wanting to be part of this group.
Yeah, that's been apparent as well. Us getting promoted has opened up a whole new market for us, where clubs were reluctant to send their players to the National League. And then obviously the pitch was another factor. They wouldn't want to play on AstroTurf. Now, it's opened up to us. I mean, my phone hasn't stopped in the summer, and I could have probably took another 24 players. But you have to be careful which ones you take and how they fit into what you're doing, and how you play. I don't want to suddenly just go away from what's given us success to doing something different. We've got to adapt, we've got to change, we know that, we've got to evolve. But certainly, for the early part, we have to make sure that our identity is the same, and these players we brought in I think are our identity.
You've always spoke about not signing good players, but signing good people. And when these players come in, we chat to them, and they really say within a couple of days how welcome they feel, how they feel it's a great group, and that's so important, isn't it?
It's massive. I won't sign bad characters, bad eggs, and if I hear a rumour of one of them, I'll just walk away. It's a small business, football, and we can't have one rotten apple in the group. We just can't. I've had a difficult day today, you know, making a few changes and players that don't deserve to be left out. But the reaction and the professionalism of them accepting it is important, because they've got now to go and train with their players, their friends. And we want to keep the competition amongst the group, but we also want to make sure that they accept when they're not playing and they still support the group, because it's going to be everyone at some point. So all of those ingredients are very important to making the camaraderie and the personalities of the group, you know, very, very positive.
And looking at Tuesday's game just gone against Cambridge United, a League One side, of course, you made a few changes, and there were players coming in there that want to stake a claim, and you can see that through their performances. Well,
I think you're right, and that's the beauty of those games. You can change one or two players, and I've said it from pre-season, every single player could start the season. So I've been true to my word. Every sort of player's hopefully getting a chance. And that game in the week allowed me to sort of say to the players, look, we're on the back of a defeat. Go and stake your claim to say why you're in the team. And I think they did that. I think that was apparent. You know, they went out there and showed me and everyone else, look, I could be starting in this team. So that's great for me.
And we head now into Colchester, one of the more local games that we're going to face in terms of an away trip this season. Looking forward to that one?
Absolutely. It's a club I used to play for. A club I enjoyed my time at Colchester. And look, it's another ground we're going to, is Bromley Football Club, which is all new to us and the supporters, and hopefully, not being that far away, hopefully we can take even more numbers than we took all the way to Bradford and so on. So I'm hoping we have a good turnout of fans to this game, and we can really sort of hopefully give a good account of ourselves.
And just finally, to touch on that, sold out games here at Hayes Lane, great away support. You always say it means so much to you, and you can see how much it means to the players as well.
I've just spoke to Sky off just before this interview, and I can't stress enough the support we've had from myself to my staff to my players, from you know, the people in the street to the people on the terraces. They're supporting us, and they know we're going to have difficult days. You know, we got beat last Saturday, and there wasn't negativity around it. It was almost like, right, let's dust ourselves off and go again. You know, people mustn't assume that players don't read all this stuff. They see it, and it's brilliant. Me included in that. You know, when we have a bad result, I'm hurting. You know, and when we get someone come up to me or someone message me saying, keep going, you'll be fine, it's massive. So I want to keep this positivity around this football club on and off the pitch, because it's so important for our journey and our destination where we're trying to get to.
Well, Andy, thanks for your time. We'll catch up with you post-match.
Thank you.